friends. He only had servants. Only last month Prince Aegon had celebrated his 18th birthday, attended by the greatest noblemen from across the land, each of them bowing low as they presented him their gifts. He was the most important person in the kingdom, and therefore in the world. The one exception was his father, as the old fool never tired of reminding him. He spat into the dust. King Ugar's day would come, no matter how often his noblemen greeted him with, "Great king, may you live forever." Another cry came to him faintly. "Aegon, over here!" He sat up straight this time, frowning in anger. No one, not even his most faithful boyhood companion, had the right to address him by name. Perhaps he had overlooked such behaviour when he was a child, but no more. The young cur needed to learn there was a price to pay for daring to be familiar with the Crown Prince of Rogand. Aegon got up and set off haughtily in the direction of the voice. Wrathful as he wasn't going to hurry. He had no need to scamper about like a servant. The moment he left the shade, he began to feel uncomfortably hot. The desert might be cold at night, but it was sweltering during the day. He had journeyed with his father and a bevy of royal attendants into the far south of Rogand, and the colder climate of the capital, Rog, seemed a world away. Their reason for being here was a mystery to him. It undoubtedly had something to do with Lestenor, though, since Rogand's border with Lestenor was not far from their current location. He squinted up at the sun as he walked. The glowing orb in the sky appeared to be making common cause with the boy in failing to show due respect for his royal station. It irked him greatly, not least because he knew he could do nothing whatever about it. Ahead of him a series of low hills rose out of the desert. The eager summons had come from that direction. The voice had since gone silent. Perhaps something had happened to Vilkami. His lip curled in a smirk of satisfaction at the thought. He always enjoyed it when other people suffered. Then a horrible notion occurred to him. What if the boy had discovered something? Aegon quickened his step. He had incontestable rights to whatever it was, and he needed to be on hand promptly to assert those rights. Cresting the hill, he spotted a section of hillside halfway down the slope where the earth had caved in. Dust drifted up into the air from around it. There was no sign of his companion. "Vilkami, where are you?" he called. "Down here," a faint voice replied. Aegon knelt beside the hole and tried to peer in. It was too dark to see much of anything in there. "What are you doing?" "I was investigating a small hole opening in the hillside," a muffled voice replied. "Then the ground collapsed and I fell in." "What's down there?" "It's a tomb of some kind, a very old one." Aegon shuddered. The idea of falling through the dark into an unknown tomb unnerved him. Vilkami, however, had a peculiar taste for the macabre. He was probably enjoying it. "Have you found anything interesting?" asked the prince. "Maybe, I'm not sure." "Can you get out?" "I think so." Aegon heard a scrambling sound, and further sections of the hillside disappeared into the hole. He moved hastily back from the edge. A head appeared, and Vilkami struggled slowly out of the ground. Trees must once have stood on this hillside, because a tangled mass of ancient roots was providing him with a precarious ladder. The youth came out covered in dirt from head to toe. "What's that in your belt?" Aegon asked him. Vilkami brushed himself off. Then he reached down carefully and withdrew a sheathed sword from his belt. "I found it in there. I couldn't really see what it was like." He began to dust it off, and a scabbard richly encrusted with jewels slowly emerged from beneath the clinging detritus of the ages. He slid the sword from the scabbard to reveal a shiny blade without hint of rust or tarnish. The edge was still sharp and true. He tried it on his tunic, and the blade sliced cleanly through the fabric. A glint came into Aegon's eye. The sword was finely crafted. The workmanship was clearly superior. It was exquisite, quite unlike anything he had ever seen, and it fully aroused his insatiable lust. "What else is down there?" he asked. Vilkami peered uncertainly into the hole.